Well, what do we have here? Korean dating shows, man. Did Haeyeon, by the way, I'm gonna butcher names, sorry, caught cheating on TV, on the show, on Netflix? If you haven't heard about Change Days 2, it's not as good as Singles Infernals, to be frank, but it's enough to keep me spinning at the TV and my blood pressure rising and dropping. So this is a Korean dating show, and as you know, they be looking cutie, sexy, lovely, and fake, a little plastic. I'm not gonna lie. No hate, it's just that was my first impression. And don't lie, that was yours too, I'm sure. Four original couples as BFG have come together to test their relationship by dating other people. AKA, she stole my man and he dating your girl. At the end, they get to choose to either stay together, leave alone and single, or couple up. Dude, imagine the jealousy and comparison to one another causing so much fighting and arguing. That's basically it. Personally, could not be me. I would literally shred to bits and pieces, especially if my man's kept going on a date with the same one girl. Seriously, cannot be me. My sorry ass, my jealous ass would have left a long time ago. 2 things to warn you, well actually 3. Spoilers. This show will make it hard for you to pick a favorite because all the ugly comes out eventually. And finally, why are there hosts? Every Korean show has to have hosts talking their business and reacting. It's so pointless, annoying, and obvious. It literally drags the show on for longer than it needs to be because the show is 16 episodes when it could have been easily filmed in 8 episodes. Who got that time? Apparently me. You'll instantly fall in love with Hyung. I honestly don't know how to say her name, and I call her Hui Hui anyway, so Hui Hui, you're gonna fall in love with her. And with her, you're gonna go head over heels for Hogi. He's an actor, apparently, until you find out that he's an immature, jealous, stubborn freak who cannot hold a normal conversation without having his terrible twos tantrums. Be warned, in episode 1, you will feel horrible for the dude, for the guy, because his girlfriend literally goes off on him after he goes on a date with Hui Hui and asks her out again on a second date, showing interest. Come to find out that this homie was PMSing the whole show. So you leave your original partner here to go on a date with your ideal type, which happens to be someone else's partner on the show. Little world. And everyone collectively meets back at the house and they live together for like 10 days, 2 weeks, I don't know, something like that. Let me tell you which bitch got on my nerves the most first and foremost. Haeyeon. She came back with another dude when her man was already home at the dinner table because they were waiting to do the first proper intros or whatever, right? Nothing's wrong with that, okay? But the way she carried herself at the table, oh my lord, if I was GU, I would have smacked someone or two. Bailey. Haeyeon appeared with Do-hyun, her ideal type, which is GU's boyfriend. Everyone's seated so that you're next to your original partner and your ideal type. So at this point, Haeyeon's sitting next to Do-hyun, and then Do-hyun's girlfriend's sitting next to him, while Haeyeon's boyfriend's also sitting next to her, Taewon. So it's GU, Do-hyun, Haeyeon, Taewon. You follow? Plus, keep in mind, I don't know you, so everyone here are stranger danger. Taewon is trying to make eye contact with Haeyeon the whole dinner time, okay? All the while keeping cool because homie's jealous. You can see he feels threatened, especially knowing that her date went way better than his. How do we know that? She was literally sitting there bragging the whole time, talking about how well they get along, how much they have in common, fun they had, they clicked so well. And I don't think you understand. In Korea, skinship is a no-no because that kind of means like we're ready to advance. Maybe I'm being dramatic here. Haeyeon was constantly hitting Do-hyun, laughing, chuckling, complimenting him. Her whole body language was, I want you, I'm focused on you, I'm engaged. While her boyfriend was like literally right here. She was sitting there the whole time and saw everything. And you can tell she was holding back from reacting. At one point, both girls laugh hit Do-hyun like simultaneously. And it got quiet so quick. So cumbersome. Even me and my useless hosts, we were like, oh, did you see that? How awkward. You know, at first I was trying to give this girl the benefit of the doubt like everyone else here because I have that power apparently. Haeyeon, she's direct, and maybe I'm intimidated because that's not me personally, and I probably sometimes wish I can be a little bit more direct, so maybe I'm just insecure realizing that now. But a couple episodes later, she literally directly said to GU, because they were playing this like lie detector test game with the machine, you know, I have a question for you. GU. Again, stranger danger. Like, we just got here. 7 a.m. Truth or lie? Are you intimidated by me? Are you bothered by me? Basically, am I your biggest competition? Are you scared that your man's gonna fall for me? Do you feel threatened by me, GU? I'm gonna take your crusty busty boy. No, he's not crusty busty. He's actually really nice. I like him. Me and my team of useless hosts, we were taking 25 yards back. Who just says that? Anyway, I'll talk more about Miss I'ma steal your mans later, but for the rest of the squad, I didn't really like Yunso, who's dating Mr. Terrible 2 choose Hoagie. But I came to really like her seeing her growth from start to finish at the end. Yoonsul came off really insecure at first, which is understandable because she has more of a shy, introverted personality anyway. And she's just like probably not cut out for entertainment, reality TV. She kind of like bishy in the sense that she was cold and reserved, but totally understandable that her guards are up. I mean, like, who wouldn't be intimidated in a setting like this? A bitch will be a bitch. The way the show painted her though, because she did spark an argument right in episode 1, they literally gave her the villain cape. Hoagie looked like a poor puppy who needed saved. She was losing her shit about a silly slap the 2-timer player out of him, which he wasn't doing, by the way. It was the show. Like, it's literally what they signed up for. She's like,
why do you have to go on another date with the same girl? If you cared about me, you wouldn't have done that. What you're telling me is that you really like this one girl.
He shoots fire back like,
while on a date with her, I was reminded about all the things I was disappointed in.
About you, essentially.
I want to go on another date with
Hui.
because it seems like she actually cares about me.
Imagine hearing that from your boyfriend of 500 days. Like, how insulting. But again, at this point, I saw the girl as a villain, so I was like, oh, you're telling her, girl. But looking back now, as much as she was trying to explain her frustration, he literally did not let her get a word in. Push her buttons, and he was saying cruel, mean things.
Well, so-and-so cares about me. She understands my feelings. We're very similar.
Yoonsul's literally like,
I feel betrayed.
he dismisses her. He was just like,
Don't be so emotional.
I'm not being emotional. It's just because
Let's just not talk today.
done. End of conversation. Excuse me? Like, homegirl didn't even get a full MLA double space sentence in this whole conversation. Like, how unfair. With Jiyu and Dohyun's situation, they're kind of weird. They used to date, but then he didn't prioritize her or their relationship, so she basically broke up with him one-sidedly, very blindly. How did she go about this, you may ask? In the most ghostly way ever. Literally. She moved her shit out of her apartment, changed her number, and ghosted the mofo. Didn't have any warning, no conversation, not even a text to herself. Yeah, I'm done. Vanished. Ow. Poor Dohyun waited for her on an hourly basis just to come find out that she no longer lived there. I think he talked to like a neighbor or something. They're like, bro, she long gone. Nobody live here no more. At least not that girlfriend of yours that you say that exists. Exactly. Because she ghosted him. They meet again years later and decide to continue on the relationship, and that's where they are now. I can totally see why the fear of abandonment is scary to the dude, because it's traumatic. His trust issues are just out the window. On the show, now their issue is that they don't talk. If they talk, they fight. If they fight, they break up. Break up or ghost up. Something like that. Dohyun wants to converse with Jiyu and have open conversations, but she just is sealed up. Nope. I can understand though, like, even me, I have a really hard time opening up about my feelings. I know, shocker. So yeah, in the beginning she was really quiet. In general, Dohyun was definitely the fan favorite and even like the cast members' favorites around the house. He's not stereotypically the most handsome looking, but something about his openness and warmth just is attractive. Shoot. Even I was like, goddamn. The least interesting couple here is Hui and Johan. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time on them, but basically the only reason why they're here is because he has to leave to the military for 2 years and she don't want to wait for these nuts. Hui's 28 and ideally by 30 she wants to settle down, get married, have kids, etc. So the idea of her waiting for her mans for 2 more years and support him so that he can finally support her is untasteful. Gotta wait 2 years for D and pay for it? It better be good, is all I'm saying. He used to be a trainee, so a lot of their dating has been her waiting for him, supporting him financially, and just tiptoeing around his dreams. Hui is my favorite. Very warm, outgoing, positive, very smiley, likable. So all along, I was rooting for Hui and Dohyun to merge, and then they did merge for the overnight date. Like, an overnight is a huge deal in this situation, okay? It says a lot. You can feel that they had a lot of chemistry. I don't know if it was because the editors used hella K-drama music. Butterflies and other things were tingling. Hui comes back from her overnight date and she completely switches the flip. When she came back, the original couples were to no longer sleep together. So now it's Peen with Peen, Vagine with Vagine. She went from, I don't know, I'm experimenting, I'm open to dating other men and seeing where things may go, to, no, I want Jonghyun. If I don't have him, no one else can have him. Very confident up until now. Kind of see where this is going. Boring. Let's get into the actual drama now. The role of roller, the coast of coasters. Haeyeon and Taewon. I'm not a fan of Haeyeon per se, nor am I a huge rooter of Taewon himself. Toxic couples just like Hoagie and Yoonsul. And I can say that because I used to be in a kind of toxic relationship, but now I'm in the most healthiest, angelic relationship ever. I know what it tastes like on both sides. It was definitely clear that the boyfriend Taewon came on this show to work things out. At least that was the understanding. But it felt like Haeyeon changed her mind instantly as soon as she got to taste other men. She got a little lick and she was like, I'm not here to hold on to this relationship. Taewon did ask a couple times in the early stages of this hooligan experiment.
Did you come here to break up with me? Because that's how I feel.
She says,
You just said you were thinking of breaking up with me.
how is that a response to what he just asked you? Yes, Taewon, she said it herself in her solo interview that she did not come to hold on to the relationship. Honey. And I think that's what really started the arguments between them, because he didn't know that. So on the show, when your partner goes on a date with someone else from the house, the original couple gets the option to see photos from that date that their partner's on. Taewon saw a photo of her leaning against Do-hyun, kind of, so he confronted her about the photo. She did not. I understand though, maybe like she did it without realizing, doesn't recall, or had no intentions, that's why she doesn't remember, or maybe her coat was too thick and it looked like she was leaning but it wasn't. I don't know. Either way, in that situation though, Hyo-young was gaslighting him. She saw it as immature, but who ain't gonna be emotional when his girlfriend's out on a date with her side coleslaw? So the next day after arguing, Taewon goes on a date also, and Haeyeon too. Haeyeon says yes to the photos, and they end up fighting that night because she's pissed. She saw photos of him happily smiling and feeding samgyeopsal to another girl. Taewon's like, this is exactly how I felt last night when you were leaning on Do-hyun, bruh. Haeyeon's like, I couldn't even enjoy my date because we fought about your frustrations about my photos. Being a brat, basically. They went in circles forever. She's basically saying, because you fought with me the night before, I couldn't enjoy and focus on my date today, but the day before we didn't have photos to fight about. That's why I was able to enjoy. And I'm also pissed that I saw your photos today. So yeah, I'm just not a happy camper right now. I would be lying if I didn't admit that I kind of liked seeing her in pain, and that sounds very malicious of me, but it's because literally she would not budge or try to listen to him at all about the same feelings she's feeling. Bitch, this is a taste of your own medicine. Whenever Taewon tried to rationally talk, her response, this is just who I am, this is how I think, do you not like how I am or how I think then? That's like saying, Faye, you're a mass manipulator, you're hurting this relationship, and I'm just like, well, that's just who I am. You blaming me for being me? The dough is right there. Even other castmates told Taewon that he's being gaslit to the tits, but this guy still chooses to be with her. Not saying that he's not to blame either. Taewon has this huge ego, and I think the push and pull here is that he wants to act sweet. It felt like he was dismissing Haeyeon's presence in front of the other housemates because of his pride or ego, and that doesn't feel good. No girl wants that. At one point they were given a choice to crash a date, which was a big deal on the show given the momentum we were on. So Taewon did it. He wanted to do it to show her that I care for you, you're my girl. But when he got to Hyo-young, instead of being sweet, he literally got sassy and he was like,
Oh, I came because I want to see why you were so happy.
He could have literally just said, I came because I care for you and I want you to see my efforts. That would have been so different. Sniper, no sniping. Toward the middle to the end, Haeyeon did a lot of self-reflection and she changed a lot, given it's been like 8 days, okay? She then starts to really care about her boyfriend's feelings. She's like the one chasing him now. It's always been the opposite. But if you watch the show, I want to know your opinion. I can't help but think that she had a switch of attitude because she low-key was rejected by Do-hyun, the guy that she's been targeting and chasing. He had butterflies for someone else, and that happened the night before. What odd timing we have here. Haeyeon. But I'll stop being petty because I think she does want to change with or without Taewon, like for the better, because she's now realizing she's the walking red flag here. Just when things were getting better between these two, oh boy, golly. They were in a cab coming home and she was typing on her phone, and then suddenly like she switched out real quick, and then Taewon looked over. Well, he saw the whole thing. What? She started typing to distract him again. He clicked back on her text messages, not just the phone. Haeyeon's like,
Stop, I don't like this.
he literally went like pale gray.
I'm serious. Stop it.
She takes her phone back and she's like,
Look when I'm looking while you're looking at me looking.
insisting there's nothing. She's been texting or has text exchanges with this one dude from outside the show. I would have lost my ape shit. She oughta gut punch him. In a text, Haeyeon did ask the guy to stop texting her, and it was like from a month ago or something. She saw how hurt Taewon was because they were finally starting to make up. So she's like,
I'll block him. Do you want me to block him? I'll block him right now.
and you know that I'll block him phrase comes up when you haven't done it, when your boyfriend has been asking multiple times, and you low-key were entertaining the idea of text messages from other dudes.
I told you to stop texting him.
What? This was a long time ago.
She just got caught talking to another dude while in a relationship on Netflix. How embarrassing. Taewon's in disbelief and he's all like,
Don't.
Hajimaz.
I've only texted back once in a while.
You should have stopped when I asked you to stop texting him. I don't trust you. I feel betrayed.
He starts crying.
Let's just stop this. I give up.
I don't want to.
Literally what she said. We'll get into another big monumental moment on the show when tantrum boy Hoagie freaked out on his girlfriend Yeonsul. Okay, it was a boys' night, and Taewon had said to Hoagie that it felt like Hoagie was Yeonsul's helper, not a boyfriend, a helper. Basically hurt his wing. Taewon purposely said this to Hoagie the night prior. His girlfriend Haeyeon was complaining to him. She wanted Taewon to do more of what Hoagie was doing for Yeonsul, like little acts of service. I think Taewon was being a little bit petty because he knows he doesn't do little things like that for her and does not like being glued on the wall being compared to other guys in the house. So he bluntly said to Hoagie that it feels like you're a helper to your girlfriend. Kind of belittled him. That ate Hoagie up. So they got back to the house and a tornado warning was not warranted. Bam! Hoagie was ignoring Yeonsul per usual. He was super cold, wouldn't talk to her, wouldn't look at her. And this was right after they got the text update to switch out of room. Peen with Peen, vagine with vagine. His girlfriend Yeonsul was like, Oppa, talk to me. He was quiet, rude, ready to just get the fuck out of it. She has no idea what she did, but she wanted to fix it. Her demeanor was calm. Her tone did not raise the roof. Like, what did I do, bruh? Whose booty were you in and now you're taking the stink out on me? No one has the time or patience to beg you to talk to them like a grown-ass adult. So finally, after so much of that, she goes over to Taewon and pulls Taewon aside to ask like what even actually happened. Hoagie was right there as well. Taewon, can we talk? Turns back and he's glaring at her, sharp as a knife, cutting her to thin apple slices. He starts clapping and being all petty netty. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Good luck. Good luck. And everyone else was like, you better watch it, little bro. What the fuck? You're interested in Taewon, right? So go ahead. Go ahead. Don't ever talk to me again. I think the biggest issue between these two couples is that they're both very self-centered and selfish. They're constantly focused on how they've been hurt, when in actuality, they feel the same thing and they want the same thing from each other. It's like respect, love, acknowledgement. Hoagie feels like he's the one who's sacrificed bigger in the relationship, but how he handled the situation was so one-sided and ignorant. Not just to her, like disrespectful for the rest of the people there. It caused friction between the guys about the rooms. It's like you're sacrificing big for the relationship, I get it, and you want acknowledgement, but you cannot give expecting for return. That shouldn't be your purpose of giving. The person who likes the other one more will be the one to sacrifice, hurt, and lose more in the relationship. The biggest growth on the show I have seen besides Yeonsul is Jiyu. I'm proud of her. Again, like at the beginning I didn't vibe with her, but then towards the end, like, super proud mom. Sis can speak her mind, hold her ground now. Eventually talked about how she was bothered by Haeyeon, Miss I'ma steal your man, but did it in a very mature way where she just pulled her boyfriend aside in private and talked about it. Props to Dohyun too, because he's super patient and very kind, and like he's not one to fight. Opening up did cause a lot of friction between them in the few last episodes. I would say you rather have friction knowing what's going on than like having friction not knowing anything. Another good set of advice from yours truly. You're welcome. I'm not gonna spoil who got with who left single and alone, who stayed together, whatever the jazz. All I'm gonna say is, did we really need 16 freaking episodes? If you're looking for a Korean dating show to distract you right now until like Singles Infernos 2 comes out, because we're all waiting for that, watch this show, but be warned, it does drag out. The drama in there is decent, given that, you know, Asian dating shows, like Asians are just like very polite on reality TV. That's the bar anyway. I do hate the extreme dramatic music they play though. Get it. If you guys have any other Korean dating shows, I would love to watch. Until next time, I'm sending love. Bye.